to the first and maiden edition of Fortune Talk Show. I am Fatima Yakub, and on this show, like I said earlier in our first intro video, that we'll be talking about social and trending issues, political issues, and lots more. But today, we're going to be looking at the issue of cybercrime, which is also known as Yahoo Yahoo or Yahoo Plus, and the influence of the parents and social media influence on those children. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And as we discuss this, I have a wonderful guest in the house, the person of El Yakub Umar Idris, who will be doing justice to the topic this very moment. Welcome, Idris.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you in the studio.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm very sure you're going to do justice to this topic today. It's no longer, news, breaking news that the trending issue is all about the Yahoo Plus boys. That's the cybercrime issue, and there are new tactics of getting their victims. What do you have to say about this?
First and foremost, we look at the parental guidance first. Just like recent killing of a female victim from a 17-year-old boy. I'm going to blame the parents because, one, they are supposed to take care of all the children needs, like the school fees, the upbringing, what have you. But nowadays, it's not like that because things are not like then, like 5 or 6 years back now, when at least our economy was okay. Now the parents allow the children to go out there and hustle on their own or look for money on their own and feed themselves or do all things they need for themselves. So from this aspect now, you don't expect any child of teenager that is not up to 18 years now to go out there and do things good for himself or for the society. Definitely, as soon as they are out there doing all such evil things, they will do more than what you expect from them. So it's part of the kill. It's part of the reason.
Okay, thank you, Idris. I also want to make a valid point here that some parents are actually trying to see that they meet up to the expectation of their children. And some of those children just choose to be, wayward in the name of socializing themselves. So what do you have to say about this? Because it's not all these victims that are from poor background or for the fact that they couldn't afford what they need at that particular moment.
So when you talked about that now, you look at the peer group, which is the friends influence to the boys. Because your friend can move you to what you don't expect.
Okay.
Just for instance now, I'm using social media maybe, and you don't have the phone or you're not even on social media. So I can just be kind of lure you into it by giving you some instances that, look at, I'm into some things like this or I'm making money. So I would like you to join me or I'll kind of introduce you to the system. From there now, the influence of me bringing you into it, that's another way of luring their own friends.
Okay, thank you. Now, the parents have a role to play in terms of peer influence. Yes. What do you think the parents should do when it comes to the peers influencing their children?
The parents they're like guardian to all the children, let me just put it this way. But first and foremost, as a parent, you should know your child friend.
Exactly.
Like there's this thing that said, show me your friend and
I'll tell you who you are.
So you allowing your children now to go out there and having all kind of friends or peer group moving about with, you are endangering their life into what you don't expect at the end of the day. So you should checkmate their friends or their whereabouts or what they do, even in school and after the school. So if you're a good parent or you're the type of parent that monitor your child, I don't think he or she will go into such a disastrous.
Okay, thank you. I promise not to take much of your time, but then, having talked about the female, because from what we're discussing, we're talking about the female children, the female. Now, let's talk about male. In recent videos that has been trending, we are seeing children, guys of about the age of 18, 19, 21 or thereabout, trying to get themselves involved in some sort of rituals because they want to be part of Yahoo or Yahoo++. So what do you have to say about this? Why would a child of that age range want to, get rich so quickly?
I'll blame the economy of the country first and foremost. Then, as I said earlier, the parental guideline is part of it. Because no matter how hard the country is now, if a good parent is able to put the child on a normal monitoring or by telling your child, this is how you supposed to go about the whole thing, I don't think every child that are guided by their parents will go astray or will do such an evil act.
All right, thank you. Having talked about that, we all know that some children are naturally stubborn. Yeah. They could go against their parents' will. But in such situation, what step do you expect the parents to take?
You keep talking and make sure you draw some examples. Like, are you not saying maybe your dad, like if it's the mother now, you can just use the dad or any good person to set an example for the child. You can even ask the child to take the person as he or her, whatever, mentor at this time. But no matter what, if you are doing bad thing, you know. If you are doing good thing, you know. So I believe parents have more role to play in this. So the major way of doing this is the parents should keep talking. Don't relent your effort in telling the child what to do or stop that, I'm tired of this child, or what will I do? No. You're not going to get tired of your child, no matter what. Because your child is your child. If he or she is doing bad thing, it will also relate to you. Because they will kind of call you first. This is so person's child, imagine. So I believe the parent should be the one to do the major work there.
Thank you very much, Idris. And we'll just go on a very short break. You're still listening to Fortune Talk Show, and we'll just go on a very short break. When we'll come back, we'll start talking about the resolutions, the way forward, how we can caution our young girls out there not to fall victims to the Yahoo Plus guys that is talking about the cybercrime issue. Once again, I am Fatima Yakub. We'll be right back. You're still watching FTS, that is Fortune Talk Show. I am Fatima Yakub, and I'm still in the house. I have Ali Yakub Umar Idris. Yes, like I said, right now we'll be talking about the resolution, how to curb this menace, and how to advise our young ladies out there to stop being victims of the cybercrime, also known as Yahoo++. Thank you, Idris. We appreciate your time. So right now we are going straight to the resolution. What do you think parents should do, or the young girls out there should do to themselves to stop being victims? Because from all indication, from all that we have seen, their major victims are ladies. What should they do? What are the precautions they should take?
First and foremost, let's start with the parents, just like you mentioned. Now, I'm of the opinion that the parents should be conscious about their children. Monitor their movement, just like I said earlier, both in school, those that are in school, or if you're not in school, if you're working, make sure you monitor the movement of the child, both away and at home. If in doing so, I believe if the girl's child now are having a bad friend, you as a parent can caution your child. Hey, this person, I think I've asked after him, he's not a good person to go with, or where he comes from is a bad place, or his character is not of the good one.
Okay.
Because it's not only on social media now, they are luring their victim on. Somebody is their girlfriend, apart from meeting on social media. But the issue of social media also involves a lot, because you see nowadays, let me say 90% of everything now is on social media. Like you see a child of 20 or 21 years thereabout will have a girlfriend. Then, aside from having a girlfriend, maybe for instance the guy is in Lagos and the girl is in Abuja, you're like, okay, I want to invite you over. I don't have a transport, or okay, I'll send you transport. Ahead of the day, how can a child of 20 years send 50,000 to a girl to transport herself to Lagos? So there is another point of luring them into the satanic way of ritual killing. Because you know how hard it is now in the country. No matter what, if you are being given 50,000 just from Abuja to Lagos as a transport, definitely you move. It will move you. So those are areas where I feel the girl's child should think about first. Because man, it's not all the glitter that are good, as they say. Because you don't, because of money, lure yourself into satanic.
All right, thank you very much for that. So, having talked about the girls, you know that by the time the girls have actually, understood the fact that they are the major victims, they are the target, they're the target praise for their predators. Now, if they have been able to successfully, protect themselves, the Yahoo Plus guys are now definitely now go for the guys. What advice do you have for these young guys? And secondly, I really want us to talk about why a teenager, as far as I'm concerned, a child that is about 18 years old trying to do ritual because he or want to get rich so quickly. Some are even ready to use their mothers, their sisters, or whoever, without limitation. Why is this happening? And do you think the government have a role to play in this?
Definitely. The government have a role to play in the sense that if at the end of the day, in every institution, it can be maybe not just high institution, it can be from, let me say, from primary school, secondary, and high institution. They should have a program of that is upbringing, or let me put it this way, that the government should come in as they should develop a sustainable
development
goal, like okay, in form of a skills acquisition, that they should see if they can bring a program where they will involve the children now on how to behave, on social moral behavior instead. Because by so doing, I don't think such thing will come up.
Okay, because of our time, we also look at the issue of unemployment as being part of the reason why the cybercrime has become so prevalent in our society today. Do you think if the youth, the young graduates are being employed, gainfully employed, they will want to indulge in such activities?
I don't think, but for now, I don't think there is a place for employment in any ministry or in any organization in Nigeria for now. Because if you look at it, the so-called orgas at the top, if for instance now I am a director in my office and I have a year to go, I don't mind to bring my son or daughter to replace me. And I don't want to know what he or she have, or if it is relevant to what they need in the system there. If, for instance, now my child studying Islamic religion and they need a banker, and I was opportune to have a seat there or slot there at the CBN, I'll take my child there.
All right, thank you. And what advice do you have for the government? That is where the role of the government comes to play, because providing employment for the youth will drastically reduce the rate of cybercrime. I am very sure of that. I'm not taking side anyways, but when you look at those guys, it's because they have no job and there's nothing for them to earn a living. That's why some of them indulge in such crimes. What do you think the government should do in terms of employment in order to reduce cybercrime and other crimes at all? We have the issue of kidnapping, trending, terrorism and robbery.
The government of the day, it's not easy, but I believe if they want to do something, they can still go ahead and do it. In a way they'll kind of, maybe, I don't know, they should kind of have empowerment. Apart from you being employed into civil servant or in an organization, they should have the kind of empowerment. Maybe monthly, they should go around and take data of
the unemployed youth.
Maybe local government. If at the end of the day, as an unemployed person, you are having a little change.
A token.
A token, as in taking every month.
Okay.
I don't think you have the mind of going to do all this.
Right, thank you. To wrap it up, what is the advice you have for the young girls out there? Because most of the girls that have been victims of this situation, this cybercrime, is because of greed and lack of contenting spirit.
I'll put it this way: it's not all the victims that are
greedy.
That are greedy. Let me put it this way: some fall in love, as in kind of, as I said, love is blind. Some just
in the wrong person without taking time to find out.
And they never really take their time to even study the person.
Okay.
So they are being, the love is what they are going after. Unknowing to them that this person is a bad person and he's taking me for another thing, not what I have for him.
All right, thank you.
We should be thanking God, or we should be happy now that, what is it called, that this cybercrime of it, the Yahoo, ritual killing, satanic, whatever. If the girls join now, it will be very, very dangerous. It will be more disastrous than the boys on.
Well, we pray the girls to enjoy that. Thank you very much for staying tuned to us. Our guest in the house today is Ali Yakub Umar Idris, and who have actually done justice to the program today. We talked about the cybercrime issue, also known as Yahoo Plus or Yahoo Plus Plus. Yes, and candid advice to girls out there: you should be contented with what you have. Don't, you want to belong. You want to be where the big girls are. You want to roll with the big guys when you don't even know the source of their wealth. And some will actually say, I don't want to suffer with the guy. I want a ready-made guy. What made him a ready-made, you don't care to know. It is very dangerous. It is trending now, and there are so many tactics that they have put in place to get their victims. Don't be a victim. Caution yourself. We have seen the stories of so many beautiful, promising girls whose life have been wasted and nothing has been done about it so far. Be warned. Be careful. Yes, this is Fortune Talk Show. I am Fatima Yakub, and I must say thank you to El Yakub Umar Idris for being in the studio with us today. Thank you. Stay tuned for our next topic in the next edition. Bye.